So I'm going to start, coming at you guys with some videos once in a while, talking about some issues that I feel, they're in the basketball world that are going on, try to educate a little bit, try to give some perspective on some things that are going on. And I think one of the big things right now at this time of the year, being July, is exposure versus being exposed. And I mean exposed as in your team or your players not ready to be at the level that you believe as a parent that they should be at. Every kid matures a different way and in a different speed. Every kid's going to get the attention or the notice that they get in different stages. We have to make sure that we're channeling our players to a competition level that they can be successful at. I've heard parents this week say, "Oh, I want my kid to play in so-and-so tournament because there's lots of coaches there." Okay, well, do the coaches know your kid's name? Are the coaches there to look for your kid? Are the coaches there, is your kid prepared to play at that level that those coaches are there scouting? And then the kid, they enter those tournaments, they end up not winning the game. Nobody ever shows up at their games to watch them play because you went to get your kid exposed, not to get your kid exposure. Exposure is when your child and your player is ready to play at this level. They're on a competitive team that's playing at this level. And they're playing with this kind of skill set. And that knowledge comes from reputable, qualified coaches and trainers, not just taking your money and saying, yeah, you're ready to go play in the Nike EYBL, but making sure that your player's ready to go play in the Nike EYBL or the Adidas Gauntlet. And not just be part of the team, but actually be a contributing on-court member. I see lots of kids at these tournaments who are on teams that are winning. One, they don't ever see the floor. Or two, when they do see the floor, they're getting exposed. That's not putting the best version of yourself forward. As coaches and trainers and as parents, we're always asking of ourselves to put our best version forward for our children and for our players. I want my players to see me fresh and energized on the court with them and knowledgeable about what's going on every single moment. In turn, we should expect college coaches to expect of our players to be high-leveled, ready to play, basketball IQ at the high level, being at the skill level that they need to be. And if they're not at that level, we need to explain to parents, this is where we need to go, this is where we need to get to. Not, oh, you're paying me, this is what you get. Kids need success in order to strive. Nobody wants to succeed through losing. So putting your kid on a team and taking them to Adidas Gauntlet or to Nike EYBL or some other high-name profile tournament and watching your team go 0-5 and get 30 run to every game isn't giving them exposure. It's getting them exposed. It's exposing their weaknesses. It's exposing none of their strengths, because all that was being exposure was your wallet. Find qualified, honest, loyal coaches, and then in turn parents, be qualified and honest and loyal with those coaches. Pay them what they deserve. Make sure that they're taken care of. Make sure that they have what they need. Make sure they have your support. Make sure they have your belief. And then back up with your child. Coach says this is what we need to be doing. He gave you this homework. This is what you need to be doing. He's putting you in a position to get exposure, not to get exposed. Got to know the difference. Can't take an 0-30 team to an exposure tournament and expect to get exposure. You're going to get exposed, not exposure. Got to know the difference. We as parents, we as coaches and trainers need to start teaching that experience, that difference. And the cream will rise to the top. So if you got somebody who's coaching your daughter's or son's team and they're talking to you about the difference between exposure and exposed, then you have somebody who has their best interests at heart. If you have somebody that says, this is how much these tournaments cost, and they're big name tournaments, and there's lots of coaches there, and your son's ready, and his team's 0-30, and your son only averages 2 points a game and doesn't play for his school, then your son's getting exposed, or your daughter's getting exposed. They're not getting exposure. The only thing that's getting exposure is your wallet. If you have any questions, you can hit me up, playersfirstalways@gmail.com. You can go to playersfirstalways.com, contact me. Name's Coach Dominguez. All I'm concerned about is putting players first. Let's do that as a team.